Hello dear friends and welcome to Cottage Time. Today's video is the first of several that I wanted to do about vintage skills or grandma's skills. A while back I asked you what you wanted to see in videos and I took a poll. The majority of you wanted to see vintage skills and I had been asked to do a video about starting a garden. So today's video is how to start a garden. Gardening holds a special place in my heart because some of my earliest memories are gardening with my grandma and helping mama and daddy in the garden. Please share any special gardening memories you have in the comments with us. When we moved to our farm 7 years ago, the old farm didn't have a garden spot. It was a typical grassy yard. We've never had a tractor. We have rented a tiller before, but it doesn't work well with all the rocks in the Ozark. So the way we prepped a large part of our garden is we would put down cardboard and then mulch it heavy on top. That will smother out the grass and feed the soil, build up the soil. So once you know where your garden spot's going to be and you've taken care of your grass, you can go ahead and build up your garden rows. If you don't have a tiller, that's fine. You can just use a shovel. And we dug a little trench on each side of the rows and would put the dirt onto the row. I wanted to have a cute cottage garden, and part of that includes pathways. So I dug a path down the center of our garden. Pathways for sure are not necessary, but they do add a little character to your plot. Make sure to have a plan for how you will deal with grass. Sean is going to put down some wood chips in the pathways that I dug. But if you're not covering up the ground, grass will grow. So you'll need to hoe it or cover it with mulch. You'll also want to think about fencing, what you'll put around the garden to keep out predators. And then I added some fencing just for more charm in the garden. Choosing what to plant in the garden for us included a combination of vegetables and also flowers and herbs. Of course, some flowers are herbs, but the flowers are going to attract pollinators. We've never had any trouble with the lack of pollinators, probably because we have flowers everywhere, but that can help your vegetables with pollinators. When you're just starting out in a garden, I would suggest keeping it simple if it's your first time to keep from getting overwhelmed. Pick a few herbs to plant along with your vegetables and some of your favorite flowers. I like to plant in groups of things that grow well together. You can find that on the Farmer's Almanac website. That's called companion planting, and that just helps to cut down on pests. And there are certain plants that put different nutrients into the soil and take different nutrients out of the soil. So planting things that grow well together is a big help. If you'll be growing anything that vines, or if you need to grow vertical because of limited space, there's different trellises you can make out of just some cattle panel and T-post. I like to grow my green beans on a hooped trellis. Some other plants that you might want to think about trellising are cantaloupe, some of your squashes, and cucumbers. Also, with trellising, just consider what will be growing to the side of the trellis. You don't want to shade out any smaller plants. You may prefer to garden in raised beds. We have several of those. And in another area of the farm where the ground is too rocky, we just went with some. But the raised beds can get expensive with buying the dirt, and if you can't source the building materials for free. Our main garden has a combination of rows planted directly in the ground, and then we have some raised beds. For our raised beds, we did a style called Cottagecore, where we put down limbs and sticks. Those will decay and will basically fertilize your soil later. The cheapest way to get plants is to either direct sow seeds in the garden or to start seeds inside. You can just look on the back of the packet and it will tell you which is best for that seed. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Please leave your gardening questions below or answer any gardening questions that may come up. I'd love to have some gardening conversations below. I will talk to you later. You have a blessed week.